So, assuming they still make Marvel vs. Capcom, at least sometime in the near future, not like 5 years later, like sometime in the next 2 years, if more content for the pre-existing game, which is Infinite, if more content doesn't come out for that in the next 2 years, which I'm doubtful it will, I wanted to start making some videos on some, like, if they make a new one, what they could do. Hopefully they have a story mode. I'm not going to speculate on what the story could be, but just what they could put in there for the story that I think would be really cool. Because if you remember Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, you have like BOWs. Apparently Nemesis is a BOW. I love Resident Evil, but in all honesty, I haven't gotten very far in either game, and I've only really played 4 and 1. Oh well, I played Revelations, but that doesn't. I don't think that counts. I hear that game is radically different. What people think of as Resident Evil right now is typically 1, 2, and 7. Everything in between is kind of a mixed bag. I hear. That's just what I've heard. I haven't played those games, obviously. I've played 1 and 4, and Revelations. And I know that Revelations is way different than 1, but it's kind of similar to 4 in some aspects. But, again, I only played the free portion of that. I don't know why I said again, because herpaderp, I didn't say anything about the free portion of it, so I don't know why I said again, but whatever. But anyways, you had the Minion characters in MVC5. So this video will be what kind of Minion characters can pop up in the game. The next game's story. I will focus on topics for DLC and for Infinite and for the next game moving forward. That's just going to be what the next few videos are going to be like, because I really want another Marvel vs. Capcom game. Or more content for the new one, or for the current one. Yeah, it's like the series. Be unfortunate if the poor reception of this last one is the end of the series altogether. It's like, in my opinion, if you pump out nothing but bombs, but you're at least trying to get that series, you should end out on a high note. For instance, if you make let's see, if you make Iron Man 1 and 2, and then suddenly you make 3, and then you continue, except the quality keeps getting worse and worse, but you're still actually trying with your Iron Man 3s and your Thor 1 and 2s, and then you pump out Infinity War, you end it there, because if you mess it up any further, you're messed up. And not to say Infinity War is a bad movie, it's the best movie so far, I think. I'll have to actually rewatch all the other movies to get a full opinion on everything, but Infinity War is pretty good, so that's what I'm saying. It's like, if all of the movies were Iron Man 3s and Thor 1 and 2s and stuff, Infinity War is a good place to leave off. In terms of quality, I mean. Not like the plot. That'd be a terrible place to leave off the plot. That would be the worst. The worst. I guess the other thing is also if you can even afford pumping out bombs. DC apparently can, and Marvel can. But I guess the practicalness of an indie group being able to do that, which Capcom is not, I'm just saying. An indie group pumps out one bomb and really it's over from there. Your ship sailed, or sunk before it sailed. That sounded like a mouse. Earlier someone was banging on that door. The camera didn't catch anyone, but someone was. Now there's a mouse. Really, it just seems like I'm making this stuff up. I don't see a mouse, but I heard a mouse. I don't know if you guys. Yeah, that was not a mouse. But that scared me. That wasn't the sound I just heard earlier. Yeah. Crickets, man. Scared the crap out of me. My heart is like beating now. Anyways, this video's topic: Minion characters. I don't know what I was getting into a tangent about because completely forgot after I heard that mouse, or what sounded like a mouse. Then it was a cricket, grasshopper. It was a grasshopper. Man, though. What was I going on? Wait, no, crickets are the ones with. It's probably whatever. Can't remember what my tangent was about just a second ago, but Minion characters. So they could like throw in. I guess if you throw in Sniper Joes from Mega Man, the classic series, but have them function more like something out of an X game, because the X series would probably match up better with the Marvel versus Capcom kind of thing. I think that works better. So you have Sniper Joes as Minion characters. If you need to fuse them with something, you can fuse them with Ultron drones, because there's a lot of things in MVCI that are fused, like levels, cities, which I guess falls under levels, but planets, dimensions, which again fall under levels. And then there are characters, well, mostly minions. I don't know whether I'd count. I know that the Ultron drones aren't connected to anything, and at first I'm like, oh, look, the X-Guardians, they're robot versions of the Asgardians, but then I'm like, wait, that's not, no. So, but, then there are characters like BOWs, which, while not technically a fusion by any means whatsoever, it's a Venom symbiote that's stuck to a BOW. I'm pretty sure BOW isn't just what it is in Infinite. I'm pretty sure Nemesis is a BOW. Don't quote me on that. Another tangent I went off on earlier was Resident Evil, so just rewind the video if you need to see that. But you know, Sniper, you can mix a symbiote and a person or a nemesis or whatever, but without the reality zone, you can't really mix people, and also that seems kind of a weird thing to do. Oh, Ultron Sigma, he's another fusion, but he's of Ultron and Sigma, and they're both robots, so that goes with the thing of Sniper Joe and Ultron drones. Another thing that would be really cool is whatever those things would like. So you know Mets? They're from the Mega Man Classic series. They're in the X series too, but they're from the Classic series. They poke their head out of the hard helmet. I don't know. They poke their head out of that construction helmet, and then you shoot them while they're exposed. Basically, another thing that there's one of these guys. They function like Sniper Joes, actually, kind of, but they throw pickaxes at you. Some of them have bodies instead of just being disembodied heads with helmets, and they throw stuff at you or shoot you. That'd be something cool. You could incorporate that with the I guess with an Ultron drone again. I guess another cool thing would be BOWs, but instead of I think they were supposed to be I think they were supposed to be Venom symbiotes, but they ended up looking a lot more like Carnage. But there doesn't seem to be any evidence that proves they would be Carnage. It seems like it's Venom, aside from the color. Dude, I guess not everything needs to be fusion, so... I guess a bunch of zombies from Dead Rising and Resident Evil would be really cool. Dead Rising and Resident Evil. That'd be awesome. For bosses that you're actually able to fight fisticuffs instead of fighting people and then transitioning to a cutscene that fights the boss. If you actually wanted to do a boss, I guess you could replace all the bosses, or you could have bosses like Boomer Quanger, or Quanger for a team up of X and Proto Man, I guess. You play as those two. If we're doing playable characters, I guess. I don't know. We're not going to focus on those characters. I'm just giving examples of what could happen. Boomer Quanger for X and Proto Man, and then Boomer Quanger for X and Proto Man. Cutman for Zero and Mega Man. That would be very easy, but I don't think difficulty is the point of anything, ever. So, there's that. And they can have dialogue. Again, let's not focus on that part of it, but they could have cool little dialogue. Because Zero was originally made by Wily to kill Mega Man, and then it turned out to be buds with X after the Sigma virus escaped. After the Sigma virus escaped, Zero went to Sigma. Was it the Sigma virus or was it the Maverick virus? It was something causing them to go Maverick. I don't think it was the Sigma virus. But you know, they could have some dialogue like that. Another boss, I guess, that would be really good is... Silver Surfer could be really cool. Oh, another minion could be like the Skrulls. Those would be really cool. Ooh, and another minion, the Outriders. The Outriders are these weird little... They're like aliens that look vaguely like Goro wearing a Venom suit. You will have seen these aliens if you watched Infinity War. They appeared at the end. So, yeah, and there were a lot of them in that movie. So Outriders would be really cool. I don't know if they're in the comics, but they're in the movie, so it's a Marvel character. Another neat little boss would be Dr. Octopus, I guess. Ooh, and Green Goblin. Because those guys seem like they'd be hard to flesh out a full moveset for, so it would be a boss type thing. I actually still have to flesh out a moveset for it, but it wouldn't have to be tailored the same way that a controller would be. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I'll just stop talking about that if I don't. You guys heard that, right? Because I didn't do anything that time. More cool bosses would be Mephisto and MODOK. MODOK was already a boss in MVC5, and he was a playable character in MVC3. But I don't know. That they'll put him in since they changed him in Infinite. But oh well. And then literally all of the bosses from the other Marvel game, Marvel vs. Capcom games, and the games that, just all of the Capcom Marvel games, including like Punisher and stuff, I think all of those bosses should come back. For Punisher, that being a beat 'em up, not a fighting game, you'd have to rework those bosses, but they should come back too. And LMDs would be a really cool boss. And generic mutants, that'd be really cool. I know, like, the word generic and then that'd be really cool, that doesn't really go well together, but I think that would be really cool. Yeah. I guess, I could do a part 2 of this if anything comes to mind, but next time I do a Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, or just Marvel vs. Capcom video, the next time it should be on playable characters, but don't quote me on that. Also, if we get DLC for Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, a new wave of it, which I'm highly doubtful that we will, they need to fix what they did, because that not good. That not good. With the DLC characters, we got 2 Capcom and 4 Marvel. I talked about this before. So next time, they need to add 4 Capcom and 2 Marvel. And then bam, that evens out the roster. I think. Pretty sure that evens it out. I'm not good at doing maths on the top of my head, but whatever. So yeah. See you guys. Bye.